Hello there. Extremes in temperature at the moment across Europe. We've got bitterly cold weather across Eastern Europe, and that is having an impact. At the same time, it's been mild but wet and windy. Now, as these frontal systems move their way further east and bump into that cold air, we're likely to see some significant snow across Scandinavia, down into Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, and it stays bitterly cold into Russia and the Ukraine. Now, out to the west, it's likely that it's going to stay wet and windy. But look at the snow that we could see across parts of Norway and Sweden into the weekend. Wetter weather behind it, showery really across France into Spain and Portugal, but on the mild side for the time of year. Now, it's largely fine and dry across France and into Italy at the moment, but as that system drifts its way steadily east, there'll be some snow, welcome snow for the Alps as well. So here it is on Sunday. To begin with, snow perhaps above 1,000 metres, but it will start to drop to lower levels as it turns that little bit colder. That is good news, but look how unsettled it is through Western Europe, but staying on the mild side for most. So this is the story then over the next few days. Tallinn will continue to stay cold with some snow showers. Barcelona dry and largely settled with some sunshine. That cold air continues across Helsinki and into Warsaw as well. Take care. Hello there. No end in sight for the stormy spell of weather that's affecting the west coast of North America at the moment. There's another system starting to push in, very windy with it as well. We've seen 100,000 homes without power just recently. There's more wet and windy weather set to move in, and that's only going to be replaced by another one waiting in the wings as well. Some sharp showers across parts of Texas, the eastern seaboard slightly quieter. I'll come back to that in just a moment. Let's focus though on what's happening out to the west in a little more detail. It has been the wettest 10-day period for 150 years in San Francisco, and you can just see how relentless this rain is. More snow for the Sierra Nevadas, over into the Rockies as well as that system pushes its way further east. It's not really going to make its way towards Los Angeles though. It stays around San Francisco further north, so you can see how unsettled it's likely to stay over the next couple of days to come. Eastern seaboard slightly quieter, cloudier conditions perhaps through Saturday, but on the whole largely fine and dry. Once we get sort of south of Tennessee, down into the Carolinas to Georgia, into Florida, it's fine and settled. The heaviest of the rain moving its way out of Texas into the Mississippi Valley. So this is the story then as we move through the weekend. Some wet weather easing from Nashville. Hello there. The start of the year in South America has been a week dominated by extremes, extreme heat and extreme rainfall. Now, the heaviest of the rain continues to be across central and southern areas of Brazil. Weather warnings remain in force. There's a potential for further localised flooding here. To the south of that, we've seen some extreme heat. Temperatures in Buenos Aires into the mid-30s, but south of that, we've seen temperatures into the low 40s. By Saturday, those temperatures start to ease just a touch, but the rain's still there across parts of Venezuela, Colombia, stretching down into central and southern areas of Brazil as well. There's the drier settled weather into Uruguay and into Argentina, and we've got a little bit of showery rain into the southern tip of Chile. So the story then over the next few days shows the best of the sunshine across Santiago. We still keep the risk of some showers in Brasilia. Across to Mexico, Central America, there are some showers around, but not particularly extensive. Some across the Yucatan Peninsula through Saturday, stretching down into Central America. The shower risk across Cuba and Jamaica easing somewhat in comparison to the last few days. And generally speaking, the emphasis is dry, settled and sunny across the Caribbean. And you can see that in the city forecast as we look ahead. That's it. Take care. Hello there. It's a dry story across much of North Africa at the moment. There is a risk of a few isolated showers moving their way through the Mediterranean, and that could impact perhaps that North Libyan coastline. But most of the rainfall activity, some through the Gulf of Guinea, but the heaviest of the rain has been moving its way out of South Africa steadily northward. So that's pushing into Zambia, Zimbabwe, Mozambique, north of Madagascar as well, perhaps seeing some unsettled weather as we go through the course of the weekend. In terms of the feel of things behind that rain easing, the temperatures in South Africa will start to recover, a little bit cooler where those showers tend to linger. And actually, if we take a look at the city forecast, you can see that Tripoli stays unsettled into the weekend, but an improving picture into next week. But we keep plenty of showers across those areas that I talked about. So Lusaka and Harare stay wet throughout the week ahead. Now, across the Middle East, we've got some outbreaks of rain as well. We've seen some wetter weather moving its way through Turkey. That's going to be pushing through Georgia. And we've got some snow across the Caucasus. That will bring some colder weather into northern Iran. We've got a weather front bringing cloud across Saudi Arabia and some rain potentially for the start of the weekend into the United Arab Emirates. It's not going to last, however, and if we take a look at the city forecast, you can see this quite clearly. So yes, we've got a slightly cooler feel in Tehran, but it's largely dry elsewhere. Hello there. Quiet and settled for much of South Asia over the next few days, but we have been seeing some cold air across the far northwest. New Delhi seeing temperatures close to freezing overnight, and low-lying stubborn fog as well has been an issue, so it's been rather cold and disappointing. Temperatures a little less cold over the next few days, but these whiter areas still the potential for some stubborn dense fog in places. Some sharp showers affecting Sri Lanka, but other than that, sandwiched in between the two, it's dry, settled and sunny. I'll come back to that again in a little more detail, but let's move over to central parts of Asia where it's bitterly cold now, and that cold air is going to continue to filter down into Kazakhstan. -4 in Astana will be nothing in comparison to a few days ahead. Then we will see some snow showers into Uzbekistan as well, and some snow showers across the Afghanistan-Pakistan border. Then down into India, fine, settled, quiet across that Kerala coastline. There are those showers into Sri Lanka, stretching up into northeastern states. It's dry as well, and there's a good deal of dry weather to be seen across the Himalayas too. So this is a city forecast over the next few days. Look at Astana, temperatures down to -26 on Tuesday and Wednesday. But the showers keep going into parts of Colombo. But it will be a good deal of dry weather generally across India over the next few days with a lot of sunshine. Hello there. A quiet weather story continues across Asia at the moment. In fact, most of the shower activity is going to be centred across parts of Vietnam, Laos and also the Philippines. Here we could see some very intense rainfall, and it may well lead to some localised flooding. But to the north of that, it really is quite a quiet story. We've got a frontal system slowly easing away from Japan, taking some showers still across the north, but the Korean Peninsula, China itself is largely fine and dry and not too cold either. We're looking at 6 degrees in Beijing and around 19 degrees in Hong Kong. Here's the heavy rain, particularly across that east coast of Vietnam. And it's going to sit there for quite some time. Again, that could lead to some localised flash flooding. So the city forecast shows that Jakarta will stay pretty unsettled over the next few days. Shanghai keeps the dry, settled and relatively mild weather. Now, across to Australia at the moment, got heat building in Western Australia. The remnants of Ellie still moving through the interior of Australia at the moment. South and east of that, it's largely fine and quiet. But it is an improving picture through New Zealand, where we've seen some very heavy rain for the start of the weekend. By Sunday, you can start to see the remnants of that rain easing away and it turning a little more showery in nature. So that is certainly welcome news. Auckland will see a little more rain, though, Tuesday into Wednesday.